What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the future of sports games. This is just going to be a rant video. I have a couple points I want to get across, but I'm just sick of these damn games at this point. I need to get this off my chest. I also want to talk about my hopes and expectations of where we see modern sports games in the next few years. Let me start off by just saying that I personally think sports games are at a crossroads right now, more than ever. They became stagnant, repetitive, overpriced. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're just putting the same thing out there every year. And to their credit, people are buying it. I mean, think about even if you lose people over time because people are like sick of your shit, they're sick of playing the same game over and over again. There's still plenty of idiots out there that buy it. And even if they make less profits because less people buy it, if you don't spend any money to make it because you literally just paste the same game. Imagine spending like 1.2 million to make the game because they didn't make anything. They just pasted Madden 21 over the Madden 20 logos. And they put it out there and made 80 million. Even though, maybe years prior they were making 400 million. It's still huge. It's still profitable for them, and they can focus on doing a plethora of other things besides fucking with a Madden or NHL. Well, that's just with EA. I mean, you go into MLB The Show, 2K, of course. I was gonna do a review for MLB The Show, and I played it, and I just said, "Fuck it! Like, what am I gonna do in the review? What am I gonna talk about? It's the same fucking game." There's the review. It's the same game. It's the same game. It's just amazing. I want to talk about some of my problems with modern sports games. And I'm sure anyone who plays sports games, you guys know none of this is new. I mean, the first and foremost, way too many microtransactions. Way too many microtransactions. Especially in the last 5 or 6 years, they have just skyrocketed in the amount and the price of microtransactions. And there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. Every year they just get more and more expensive. And every year these games just seem to become more and more pay to play. Also, the worst part about all of this is that nothing that you buy carries over to the next year, which is just outrageous. People have to buy the same exact items over and over every year. And some people spend thousands. People in like 2K and Madden, they spend thousands, man. One person, thousands. Keep that in mind. And these things that I'm talking about, they go for all the sports games. It doesn't matter which one you're talking about. I mean, if you're talking about all the major sports, it goes for all of them. And the sad part is pretty much every sport is down to like one, maybe two companies that make a game for that sport. So you don't really have a choice in the matter. But in all of these games, the only game mode that matters is the microtransaction mode. Whichever one that is, whether it's Madden Ultimate Team, NBA My Team, the Hockey Ultimate Team, Diamond Dynasty, FIFA Ultimate Team, or what the fuck, they lost the franchise name, so The Club 24, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, franchise modes and all the other modes, they've just been put on the back burner for years. Not just like 5 or 6 years, we're talking like 10 plus years. Franchise modes. I will give credit to 2K, they added the My Eras mode and that kind of stuff. So they did add a few things. 2K at least can be a fun franchise mode to play when you're not getting bricked out 3 years in and can't progress forward. Same with the baseball game. I wanted to talk about this later, but it just goes here. There's one problem though that all these games have that I don't see anyone talk about very much anyway. Is it just me, or in especially the last 4 years, since 2020, these games feel so scripted, whether you're playing offline or online. Everything that happens in the game, whether you're playing baseball, the basketball, football, it just feels so scripted. Madden, you could be up 2 touchdowns on the computer, This goes for online play too. It happens like this too. You be up 2 touchdowns, whatever, and you're having a good game, and your running back fumbles. You're like, all right, whatever. That happens. It's football. You stop them, you get the ball back. Running back fumbles again. All right, they get the ball. March down, you stop them again. Your quarterback fumbles. You're just like, what the fuck? They get it back. They score. They kick an onside. They get the onside. They throw a 60-yard bomb, score, tie the game. You're like, okay. Tie game. You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You're like, all right, I'm good still. I'm good. Get the ball. Throw an interception that tipped off your guy's hands. So you hit your guy right in the numbers, your receiver. It bounced off his hands. They pick it off, run it back for a touchdown. And then you don't get down the field and you lose. And all of that transpired in the last 4 minutes of the game. So for the rest of the game, you were playing really good. Everything was working fine, all that stuff. And then boom, you just feel it. You're playing the NBA 2K game. You're playing online. You're blowing the team out by 20 points. And then out of nowhere, the guy on their team who's 0 for 7, couldn't hit a basket. He can't miss now. He's making everything. He's shooting lights out from 3. Deep threes, everything. Fading away. And everybody on your team who was shooting fine, nobody can hit now, all of a sudden. Nobody can make a shot. Wide open, doesn't matter. They can't make a shot. And those people end up coming back and beating you by 3 points. Oh yeah, also that all happened in the fourth quarter. You blew a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. Even though you were playing fine, you guys were taking wide open shots and everything else, and it didn't matter. It's just crazy how it feels so scripted. Everything just feels so scripted in these games. Oh man, with the MLB The Show, how about when you get a perfect and you just line out to the shortstop? You just turn the game off. Over and over, when that happens over and over in the baseball game, when you just get a perfect, when you're hitting the ball. If people who don't know, perfect is your timing when you swing the bat. It means you put your reticle perfect on the ball and you swung at the perfect time. It's a perfect. So you do that. You did everything you're supposed to do at the at-bat. Now, I understand you don't want to give people a home run every time. You don't want to, that's whatever, but dude, you get a perfect, you should be at least hitting that in the gap, or at least the gap in the infield, right? Am I wrong on that, or am I just crazy? But more often than not, though, and maybe I can understand even once, every once in a while, you line out to somebody on a perfect. But we're talking at least 50% of the time, it's just a fly out or a line out or a grounder or some crazy shit, man. It just makes you turn the game off. It happens with the pitching too. You be perfect with your pitching. Doesn't matter what type of pitching you use, whether it's pulse pitching or the stick pitching, whatever. You could be perfect with it and your guy's still going to throw it out. He's not going to throw it where you want it to go. You could not move the ball and just leave it in the middle and just throw different pitches. It'll just go all over the place. Doesn't matter if you time it correctly or not. I understand if you don't time it correctly or if you don't get the right movements on your stick, then it, can be different spots. But when you're perfect on your timing and stuff, the ball should go where you want it to. Instead, you try to throw a curveball low and outside, and he just hangs it over the middle of the plate, even though you got perfect timing. Dude hits a 3-run shot, you lose the game. It's just unbearable, some of this stuff. And it happens in all the sports games. You just feel this kind of scripting thing going on. It's just something weird. It just doesn't feel right, like the sports games of the past. Games never made me feel that way. If you lost, usually it felt like it made sense. This shit doesn't make sense. When you lose in the last 4 minutes because your guy fumbled 3 times in an interception off of your dude's hands, I mean, everyone has to have restraint not to smash something in there. You just turn the game off and uninstall it. That's all. And you don't buy the next one. But yeah, they expect you to pay full price for the base game every year, while also charging you for everything like it's a free-to-play game. Perfect example is NBA 2K. You got to pay $70 for the game. And then You have to pay $100 if you want to get the VC. It costs $100 to make a build in NBA 2K. Not to mention, you can't get past a 90 overall, mind you, until you grind it out in micro. So you still have to grind. And just going from a 90 to a 99 is hours and hours and hours. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's tens of hours, maybe 100 hours even. Absolute insanity. You got to do all that just to compete, just to play online. Because you can't play the game. Even when you're playing offline, if you try to make a new player and you just started like a 60 overall, you can't do anything. So yeah, the 2K has basically become pay to play at this point. You got to buy the boost. You got to do all this stuff just to be on a somewhat level playing field. And like I just said, in any of these games, is there really a level playing field that there's some weird fucking game scripting going on in the background? I don't fucking know. What's the point of playing the game if they're just going to steal your win away from you in the last couple minutes because, this other team, well, they've been on a 3-game losing streak and you've won 2 in a row, so we're just going to try to even fuck you with your stupid shit. Get your algorithm bullshit out of here. The moment the game is playing you, why the fuck are we playing these games? These AAA sports games, just because of that alone, need to die. The fact that you have an algorithm going on that's doing stuff like that in the background, and people wonder, oh, well, what's up with the physics? Why did my guy just glitch through that guy? He didn't make the tackle. He just ran right through him and glitched through him and scored a touchdown. Because I feel like the game in the background, it had to do what it had to do. It had to do what it had to do to give that guy the touchdown, because he was probably going to uninstall the game. Or he spent some money. I'm fully convinced that the game actually rewards people that do spend money. So if you're playing 2K and you're a person that spends money, I feel like there's a hidden boost back there. This is all conspiracy shit. I don't have any proof of this, but this is just what it feels like when you play these games. It doesn't feel balanced. It feels just like there's these weird things going on all the time around you that affect you, and there's nothing, and they're all out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, if you buy stuff, it feels like people play better when after they've spent money as opposed to not, because I felt it myself when I played 2K. I feel like I play really good when I spend some money and then I go in there and I'm doing shit, I'm making my shots, all this stuff. But if you give it time and you don't spend any more money, you can just feel, you like start getting scaled back. I'm talking about in the my career mode when you're playing online with your my player. Not I don't know about my team. I don't play my team at all. But yeah, I mean we can't not talk about the broken gameplay in all these games. My biggest problem with every one of the sports games is that the game engines, they're all outdated. Many of them 10 plus years old at this point. And they just can't handle any more copy and pasting. They're breaking at the seams, man. They can't handle it. And don't get me started on the latency and lag in online play. It's atrocious. Any of the games, Madden, FIFA, 2K, hockey, some a little worse than others, but they're all pretty bad. And that's the sad part, is these companies are all AAA companies. They're billion-dollar companies. And none of them ever seem to upgrade their fucking servers. The servers have been the same on 2K for, God, ever since I started playing. I started playing 2K basketball online, 2K11. And for people who were way back then, you remember the people modding their 99 players. You had guys that were like 30 feet tall. All you saw was their ankle and their socks and their foot. I've been playing that game for a long time online. And the servers have always been trash. Always. They've been bad since day one. And all the games are like that. These companies just don't seem to upgrade their servers. They just don't care. Why should they? And none of these games respect the physics of any other sport that they're trying to emulate. We're at the point where we have Unreal Engine 5, we have all these graphics, oh, look at all this stuff, like the sweat's beating off of his brow and all this stuff, blah, blah. Well, that's great, but I mean, when his arms are clipping through the dude's body and the guy is dribbling the ball through the guy's torso, I mean, who cares how much sweat's beating off his fucking head? Really, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's absolutely maddening to see the things that happen in these games physics-wise. How many times you play the basketball game, 2K? You're playing offline. You go to the replay because you know you blocked the guy's shot. And you go to the replay and you slow it down and you watch your whole fucking 5 big long fingers and your big old fucking palm go right through the ball. And you're spinning around in the camera with your hand in the ball. You can't even see your hand anymore because the whole thing is inside the ball. And you're looking at it and you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you play out the play and he shoots it and makes a 3, ties the game up. There's 36 seconds left and again, you just turn the game off and uninstall it. Because what the fuck are we doing here? So yeah, these games are very broken, these AAA sports games. They have a lot of problems. They don't seem to want to fix them. They're all legacy issues. You play Madden, you play 2K, you still see the same bugs you've seen 5 years, 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Oh hell, don't get me started with the latency and the lag. I try to play a game offline, I'm running around, it's all smooth as butter, I'm doing just fine. But the moment I step online, it's like I got cement shoes on. What? It's like I'm walking in molasses. What? It's like I can't move anywhere. What the hell is going on? It takes 2 damn seconds to react to anything. It don't matter what I do with my internet. I can plug it in with the hard wire. I could go for the Wi-Fi. I could change my router setting. I could do it all. But it don't matter because the game is trash. The servers are trash. And nothing's gonna change that. We just gotta put the damn thing down and say enough is enough. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. This shit's terrible. It needs to go. My expectations going forward with these games is that I think AAA companies are going to work their way out of the sports game industry, actually. They're probably just going to be pushed out of the market by other indie devs. And you can see it now. They're on the rise. The indie devs are making sports games in the background. And I think those games will eventually overtake the AAA sports games just due to the gameplay, different gameplay, fresh feel, especially if it's good and these server issues are gone. There's a huge market for sports games that aren't being tapped into. The indie devs will realize that, and we will have a resurgence of multiple companies making sports games. They'll realize that because the first company that just makes a sports game that has a game mode like 2K, where you have your My Player, it doesn't matter the sports game, especially in other sports though, like football. ESG Football 24 is allegedly coming out soon. Excited for that game. And you will have that. You will have your own player. They will have 7-on-7 football, 11-on-11 football. And that's going to be badass, man. Imagine everybody in the game's a human. Your whole offensive line is human. Your quarterback, everybody. That's going to be fun as fuck. What a fresh take. Can't wait for that game. But the first company to do that, imagine having a company like 2K or a game like 2K with the My Player mode, except you pay $20 for a build and the gameplay is good. Well, that's it. That's it for 2K. That's a $1 billion idea right there for an indie dev. Easy. People will flock to the game because they want to play sports games. They just don't want to spend all this money and do all this crazy shit. Especially if your sports game is good. In 2K, this year, 2K24, I mean, half the people can't make a basket to save their lives, and the other half the people can't miss. 2K this year has been plagued with cheaters, plagued with Cronus Zen users, plagued with the Titan users because the shooting is so fucked up and broken. Let me tell you something. When you fuck up shooting the ball in a basketball game, it's over. The most basic thing that of anything that you need to be able to do in a basketball game, at the very least, the shooting needs to be like good. If your shooting is fucked, the game's fucked. Doesn't matter what you do around it. You can make all cool dribbling, the dribble animations, all this shit. The shooting's broken. The most fundamental thing of a basketball game is broken. So you got to restart. I think once that company does that and the other companies realize how much money they made, because that's a lot of money. You make $1 billion product and you're a team of 30 to 100 people, that's huge for you. And I think also devs will realize that these games don't have to have official licenses of these major sports leagues anymore to be popular. I think that was the problem with All Pro Football 2K8. They went in the wrong direction. What All Pro Football 2K8 did was they decided to try to license retired players and Hall of Famers and things because they thought that the football game itself, wouldn't sell good if there weren't real players in it. So they decided to do that and put their time and effort into the players, getting these older players and signing deals with them to get them in the game. Well, the problem with that was what they should have did was just made a base game, focused on the gameplay, the franchise mode, and make the game, and then have community creations. If WWE 2K has shown us anything positive, it's that community creations can be everything for your game. You just get around the license by just making sure your customization options are really good to where people can make anything. And then your community will take care of it for you. They'll make everything. Within the first week of the game being launched, you'll have the full NFL league, you'll have all the stadiums, you'll have all the teams, all that stuff. And that's how you get around like, well, it's not in our game. We didn't sell it that way. They can do whatever they want. That's a $1 billion idea, as long as the gameplay is there. Imagine All Pro Football 2K8 gameplay, but with the super deep franchise mode, online play, all that stuff, modern day stuff. It would be amazing. And if you could play your own player like 2K wise and have a my player and do all that stuff. So yeah, community creations will definitely be huge. You don't have to have licenses for any of this stuff anymore. They will make all the players and everything for you. So companies will realize that and they will start making those games. But yes, the first one to do it will be $1 billion. Guaranteed. Mark my words. Yeah, I know this video's been all over the place. I just wanted to rant about the sports games because I love playing sports games, but I just can't do it anymore. And it's sad because I loved playing all of them. I love playing hockey, NHL, 2K, the show, Madden. I haven't been able to play Madden in so long. God, it's been so long since I've been able to play a good Madden. I just go back and play NFL 2K5. Isn't that fucked up? The game is 20 years old this year, and it's still better than Madden, modern Madden, gameplay-wise. I haven't been able to throw a back corner fade in Madden about 15 years. People that play Madden probably know what I'm talking about. I haven't been able to throw a goal line or like just a back corner fade in the end zone in Madden in like 15 years. The ball always gets underthrown. The receiver never goes up to catch it. And cornerback just picks it off. So yeah, I know this video has been all over the place, but I just wanted to get all this stuff off my chest. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, I'm out.